Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Hey, yo, what's good? My name is DJ Aspen.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do. Give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
Okay, Tinder. So, my name is Aspen. I am a DJ and producer, full-time creative. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I've been in Portland for about 3 years now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I saw you moved up here in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And we're going to dig into all that kind of right now. What got you started in music initially?
Initially, I have grown up and, always listened to music. I remember having a little iPod shuffle and,
Shout out to Apple, I guess.
Yeah. Back in the day, my grandma always would have records going. And so I kind of just have always been into listening to music, but I never was musically inclined or I never played any instruments until I got older. And I got a piano from the pawn shop, and I just started tinkering around on it, and I was like, I want to make beats. I want to do that. I heard, I don't know if you're familiar with Kaytranada.
I love Kaytranada.
Yeah, yep. So Kaytranada is basically my production inspiration. I heard
that's a good inspiration to have. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. No, I love that. And then I guess growing up, was anybody else around you musical at all? Did you have anybody in the family that was like a musician?
No, not at all. And so that's why I was music was never even brought up as a thing to be able to do. You know what I'm saying?
You're really like the first generation for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think that. And then I guess, did you build a lot of your music experience in Atlanta, or did a lot of it kind of come to fruition once you got out here?
Well, I actually got my first show. I got my first DJ gig when I came to Portland. I didn't DJ until I moved out here.
Okay.
Before I didn't know that I wanted to DJ. I was just kind of just trying to make beats.
Yeah.
I just am like, I want to make beats. That's it. I don't know. And so I was like, all right, well, and then during COVID, I had bought a DJ controller from Guitar Center. So I just was posting myself on Instagram, making these little DJ mixes. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just was doing it in my bedroom. And so, when I got to Portland, I got asked to DJ a show, and it kind of just went from there.
Hell yeah. No, I dig that. And we'll dig in a little bit more on the production side of things in a moment, but I have a couple foundation questions I like to check in with everybody on.
Okay.
And this first one is one we ask early, it's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
Ooh, the first album I ever bought was T.I. I'm Serious. Man,
okay.
Yeah, I remember, I'm from Atlanta, so growing up in the era of T.I., Gucci, Jeezy, Ludacris, Outkast, Goody Mob. It was, like it was already in me. And so it was just like, yeah, this is it. This is the sound.
Hell yeah. No, I dig that.
Yeah.
And then what was one of the first live shows you ever went to that was like specifically one you wanted to go to? So like you saw it was happening, got tickets, went to it.
That's funny because I've never bought myself concert tickets before.
Interesting.
Yeah. I also didn't grow up going to concerts. I didn't go to my first concert until I was like 23, 24.
Okay.
And yeah, so I was like, this is interesting. So I never really bought concert tickets. But my favorite concert that I've ever attended, which somebody gifted me some free tickets, was when Kendrick came to the Moda for the Big Steppers tour.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is it. This is it. And what's funny is I have actually opened up for a couple artists, and so even those shows, like my favorite show that I did, that I opened up for artists was Lil Wayne.
Yeah,
because I grew up on that.
Yeah,
you know, like so that was a different type of vibe, but just to be sitting in the audience watching and taking it in as a fan, for Kendrick, that was.
I bet that was really cool.
Yeah.
Although I do have a bit where I'm going to ask you about the Lil Wayne experience later on in the interview. So nice preview, y'all. But since you brought him up, I will tell you the first album I ever bought with my own money, and I've said it on the show before, was The Carter.
Oh, the first one?
Yep.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, I can still do the entire intro song from memory. That's I'm not going to do it on the show, but I can.
Yeah, I'm going to cash in on that later.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and let's get on into you in the present day. And we're going to get a super easy one out of the way. How'd you pick the name?
It's my actual name.
Your name is DJ? No, I'm kidding.
You got me. Yeah, so before I came to Oregon, I didn't go by Aspen. Aspen is my real legal name that my mom gave me. But before I moved out here, people in the South, they have never seen an aspen tree. They never been to Aspen, Colorado, so they couldn't grasp the concept. So back home, all my friends know me as Ace. That's what everybody calls me. But when I came out here to the West Coast, I was like, I want to be different, like nature stuff. I'm in Oregon.
I was going to say, the name fits in very well up here. Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to just go by Aspen. So everybody started calling me Aspen. And then I got my first DJ gig, and it's like, what's your name? And I'm like, DJ Aspen.
Boom.
And so, yeah, it just kind of stuck. And I've thought about changing it, but honestly, it just go. I like it.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, I think
original.
It's easy to remember. It's like cool looking. Like I have this bit where I like break down people's names, and like stylistically it works well. The letters are all good, and it has a good like feel to it. Yeah. Like, when you hear it, it's not like clunky. So I mean, if you're thinking about it, I don't think you need to, but your name, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. No, I like it. And I just recently went to Aspen for the first time. So Aspen.
Okay. Okay.
Aspen squared.
Perfect. And then I guess you kind of touched on this before. Do you still like play instruments or produce at all, or are you like
I do
time?
DJ definitely takes most of my time because it's how I make
I was gonna say it's your career.
Money. Yeah. But I play the bass. I recently just picked up a bass.
Oh hell yeah, that's my first instrument.
Yeah, so I've been getting down on that, and then I play piano because I went to school. I go to school right now for music and sonic art, so I was taking a piano class, and it just has helped me honestly be a better DJ. Just learning about music theory and stuff. So yeah.
Wait, weird. Learning about music is helpful when you're doing stuff with music? No, I'm kidding.
Crazy.
Yeah, who would have thought?
That works, bro.
No, that's cool. I appreciate that. First of all, I appreciate that you're like going to learn more about it. I think there's always something to be learned in music for music. But to be able to like directly apply it to what you're doing, it only makes you better at what you're doing. And I think that goes a long way in general.
Right.
And I guess, who are some of your like, I guess we'll do twofold. Who are some of your other production inspirations? And then who are some of your like DJ inspirations?
Ooh, okay. Definitely Kaytranada on both sides of things, production and DJ wise. And then Sango is one of my favorite producers. Not a lot of people know him, but he had a stint up in Seattle for a minute too.
Oh damn, I didn't realize that. No, Sango is cool.
Oh yeah.
If y'all haven't checked out Sango after this episode's done,
please
check them out. That is a good name.
Yeah. And I'll say as far as DJ inspiration goes, man, definitely, like DJ Premier, DJ Jazzy Jeff. I honestly, bro, it's funny because I didn't start getting into DJing until I was DJing.
True.
And so now I'm like, man, to know the people that was making what noise and waves, like DJ Infamous is one of my like growing up in Atlanta, I heard that name on the radio a lot. That was a very recognizable DJ, but I didn't realize who he was, that he's Ludacris's DJ and that he do all this stuff until I was older and I was like, oh, okay. He wasn't just on the radio, even though that's what I knew him from.
Yeah.
But, so definitely like people like that.
Hell yeah, I dig that.
Yep.
And then when it comes to focusing on the DJ stuff for just a moment, because I'm always wanting to know more. I'll be honest. Like I tried it for a little bit when I was younger. I think a lot of us do, and
everybody does.
I was not great at it. But like when it comes to track selection, how do you go about that? Like, are you always looking for the newest, or like, are you just like, do you have your tried and trues? Like, what do you do when it comes to like putting sets together?
Honestly, every single set I play is always going to be like a new fresh set that I never played before. I kind of go into it. I mean, I got general playlist of like, okay, this is my early 2000s hip hop. These are my go-to songs that I know gonna make the club jump. These are my songs that gonna make you have a baby once you leave. Like it's certain things that I'm like, but more so, bro, I get there and I play a song and I see if people catch the vibe, and if they do, I'll go that way, but if they don't, I'll go another way, and kind of just go off of it like that. And what's funny is sometimes I was just telling one of my friends this the other day, bro, like, and I don't know what it is, but in my brain, automatically, soon as I play a song, my brain already kind of has an idea of what song I could make go with this song or what's going to go next, you know what I mean? So and it definitely comes, I listen to a lot of music, bro. Like I spend a lot of time listening to music. I'm from what I would consider music mecca world.
Very much so.
So yeah, it's just already in me, bro. I just ingest a lot of music, and a lot of times it's, I have to play to my crowd. I'm primarily known for playing hip hop and R&B, early 2000s, but also it's songs that I'm just like, no, y'all probably don't know this, but y'all need to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I sometimes, like, I hesitate to say this, but I do sometimes play a little house set because Kaytranada influenced my, like house vibe, I think.
Well, I mean, now I think it's kind of even a good time to be leaning into that because, we'll dig into this part a little bit later in the interview, but like a lot of electronic elements have introduced themselves into music of other genres. Like it is, shout out to LMFAO for like really bringing it to the forefront, right? As unfortunately they were the ones who kind of did it in a weird way. But like that introduction of like energetic electronic music in other sounds has become a lot more prominent. So now more than ever, I'm sure that gets received a lot better than it would have even like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then I do want to know though, do you have like any tracks that like work 100% of this? Like, no matter where you are, no matter who you're DJing for, do you have a couple that you're just like, this one works every time?
I do. And
does it celebrate? No,
no, it's honestly, I'm almost embarrassed to say it because as a DJ, like you look at another DJ and you're like, you really gonna do that right now?
Oh, can I take one more guess?
Yes.
Is it Happy?
No.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. You're pretty close, but it's Party in the USA.
Damn.
Oh, Miley.
Yep. That makes sense.
Oh, Miley.
Yep. Yep.
Every time.
Yep.
Every single time it gets him. Yeah.
I could see that. Damn.
Yeah.
As soon as you said it,
it don't matter who it is.
That's fair.
Everybody, bro.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad the answer is exactly what I was thinking it would be in the realm. But that is good to know. Thank you for sharing that.
And what's funny is I think it would be different had I, if I was playing in Atlanta. Like I don't think.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have hit as hard.
The same, but I would say my equivalent would probably be something like Swag Surf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then getting into your production side a little bit. So do you still find time to produce like regularly?
Not regularly, but I do it a lot because that's what I'm going to school for, and so I have recently started using Ableton. In a new Ableton gang.
That's how the show is made audio wise.
Yeah, Ableton better give you a sponsorship.
I wish. They do not need my money or support.
So what they need to do be supporting us.
Yeah.
But so I've been messing around with an Ableton and a Push, and what's crazy is, honestly, bro, I realized with doing that is how much I could integrate it into my own DJ sets. Like I could bring a Push and DJ with it.
I mean, Ableton originally started as more of a performance program. Shout out to Daft Punk for really kind of revolutionizing the powerful side of it on the I think they started on like version 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Somebody fact check that and put it in the comments. But like they started early. That's how they would
That's
computer started integrating in.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, that's how they were able to run, because they performed with a lot of actual synthesizers, things like that for a stretch of their time. And that was how they were able to kind of coordinate their whole show. And so as the program progressed, people started realizing they could use it for making music as well. And that's why it is the way it is now. But its main thing is a performance program. So that and the Push. The Push is such a cool
It's a beast
thing.
It's a beast, bro.
Like the fact that they teamed up with Kai to make it, the fact that they sorry for everybody who's not into technical stuff, but
right.
The Push deserves a little bit of acknowledgement.
Put some respect on that Push.
It really, it was one of the first things that I think really took the controller game to a whole new realm.
Yeah.
Just as far as like actively opening up an entire DAW into like the world of making music in a whole new, in a way that had really been kind of under, there were the ones with like the billion buttons and like Launchpad and things like that. But the Push is like, no, if you have Ableton, it just works.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was made by Ableton for Ableton.
Standalone edition. Stop.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Force, it was going to happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
And Machine finally caught up with the Plus, and the MPC has kind of been, the MPC finally came back in the right way. Like, I think it went away for a long time, but they brought it back in the right way.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more. So I started with a Machine. That was the first MK3. That was my first ever. I was like, I'm about to buy me a Mark III, and we gonna see how it goes. Right after I bought that piano, I was like, okay, I like this, but I want to do the finger drumming thing. I want to do that.
The beats,
right? You feel me? Like where that bass at, baby?
Yeah, and honestly, for a long time, Machine was like the thing to use. It got to a point where the MPCs were either expensive or hard to use. They were slowly starting. An MPC 1000 is like tried and true, but like I have a fully modded one, and it just doesn't, like, unless you're looking for that sound and that swing and all that, it can't do the things that today is doing. And the new MPCs,
right? Oh
my God, they're so good.
Oh yeah,
they're so good. They can do so much, and they sound great. And now there's a keys version. The world is really kind of swinging back towards the like not computer based. But for the things that need computer run, Ableton is really kind of doing it.
It's the GOAT.
Yeah.
It is.
But let's not make this too much about gear. We're going to talk about you. And we're going to swing back to DJing for just a moment. Actually, this next question is supposed to be technical, but we're going to circumvent it for just a moment. We'll swing back to it. You performed with a lot of cool people. I mean, just your SoundCloud alone lists, some local goats like Rain Ezra, Toxic, Wavy Joseph. But you've also opened for some big names, and the full list is on SoundCloud. But Kodak Black and Lil Wayne.
Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How did you come by the Lil Wayne one? I would really like to know.
So basically, how I came about most of them, I think, except for the Soulja Boy one. But so basically, going back to kind of how I started this, my first DJ gig, shout out to Rain Ezra.
Shout out Rain Ezra.
Rain gave me my first DJ gig, and she's like, hey, I'll pay you $50 for you to play these tracks behind people singing. I just need you to press play, and I'll give you $50. And I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
let's go. I'm DJ Aspen.
Oh yeah.
And so, so I started by just playing artist tracks, and I would do that for all of Rain's shows, and then people see me doing it, and they're like, oh, who are you? We never seen you before. And so artists would just hit me up for me to DJ their sets.
Mm-hmm.
And so I linked up with a local artist in Portland by the name of Soul Luna.
Oh yeah.
And his manager, actually, JC, hit me up, and he's like, hey, I'm about to manage this dude, but I want you to be my DJ.
Yeah.
I want you to be his DJ. I'm hiring you to be his DJ for tour. We about to blow him up, and so I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No reason not to.
Do is press play for these 15 minutes and jump up and down. All right, let's go. So he basically bought our flights, got us hotels, like got us there. All we had to do pretty much was like feed ourselves when we got there. And we got to open up for these artists and kind of just get to experience the actual tour life, which is when I came into it was what I thought I wanted to do. I'm like, I just want to go on tour and be DJing for famous people.
Yeah.
And now that I hit 30, I'm like,
maybe at home's a little comfier.
Right. I like my house.
A van full of sweaty people.
Especially dudes.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
No, I trust me, I get it.
Come on, bro.
I get it. Dudes be smelly.
They do.
Dudes be smelly.
Dudes be gross, especially on tour, bro.
Yeah, no, I dig that.
Y'all.
And I mean, that's such a cool experience, though.
Yeah.
But I guess I am curious, what is it like performing in like smaller places versus bigger places? Because you have a regular experience with like the Timbers and the Thorns.
Yeah.
And so that must, like, you must be like up in a booth. You're probably not like people right in front of you. Like how is that different from, the more intimate spaces where everybody's just kind of bumping up against it?
I kind of personally like the more smaller, intimate spaces, just because it feels more community based.
Yeah, you can read the crowd as you're playing.
Exactly,
yeah.
I feel that. And the thing about DJing and performing, specifically when I'm talking about doing it with other artists, is like, first of all, those 10,000 people, they came to see Lil Wayne. They didn't come to see Soul Luna necessarily. You know what I mean? So
I mean,
it's like,
respectfully, yeah.
Respectfully,
Like some of them are probably there for him as
exactly.
well. But like, yes,
but most
everybody's there for Lil Wayne for
so
sure.
I'm, DJing beforehand, and it's like I gotta play the right song for these particular people in this place. I've never even been. I don't even know these.
Yeah, you got to prepare the room.
And so it's like, it's a bit more harder to grasp, but it also is more gratification. Like for the Timbers and the Thorns, like that's the biggest crowd I DJ for thus far. It's like I think the cap at Providence is like 22,000 or something when they sell it out.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of people. I never did the math on that.
It's crazy.
That's wild.
Dude, and this is a soccer city, bro.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I know.
I didn't know. I didn't realize it until I was doing it, and people was like, the Timbers?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, the Timbers. And they like, the Timbers?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
I may or may not have been to a couple of games now.
Okay, all right. No, it is. It's dope. But, it's different. With the Timbers, I am up in a, like the press box, so I'm not in the crowd. And honestly, I've been talking to them about getting me a little stand down in the crowds. Like
hell yeah.
Timber Army is. And so just because it'll be better, like I can read off the crowd more.
Yeah, you can kind of vibe with it.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and I bet it look cool on the big screens.
Exactly.
Cutting
I'm
over
like,
to you and you're like here with the people. Yeah.
Yeah, so we getting ready for that. We manifesting that. Send me some good energy and vibes with that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, bro, it's so cool, man. It's like getting to do something that people in this city really look up to and they respect.
Yeah, no, that's a really cool experience. Actually, because I have a friend up in Seattle who's been on the show before. Shout out DJ Vega, who like does something similar.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, DJ Vega's good people.
Instagram.
Yeah, he's good people. He's gonna be here soon. I think he's gonna be here this Saturday.
What?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to try to tap in.
Yeah, we'll talk about him off camera.
Okay.
It's still your interview.
Yeah.
But like that is a really I never really kind of like put perspective on the magnitude, but also like that is a really big community thing to be involved in. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I know you do some other stuff in the community. I did not get to like read up on this enough because I've only really seen it on stories, but there's like a youth program that you're working on with DJing as well. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So actually, I got my first gig with a school this past year. Sunnyside Environmental School. Shout out to Sunnyside.
Oh, yeah.
They hired me to do all their middle school dances. And so all throughout the year, I think we did like 6 total. I did the dances for the kids, and oh my God, they loved it. They are almost like some of the best people to DJ for, bro, because they just be in it the whole time.
Yeah, they're not walking up to the booth, spilling a beer, going, play this song again.
Right. So, so I DJ'd for their middle school dances, and then at the end of the year, I approached the principal, and I was like, hey, I got this idea, and I don't really know who to talk to about it, and I don't know how to make it an actual thing, but I just have an idea, and I want to teach the kids here how to DJ. And she's like, all right.
Hell yeah.
And so I made this DJ plan and a whole, like, course and sent it to her, and she's like, all right, yeah, we'll do it.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
you make it seem so easy.
it was not. I mean,
no, I can't even begin to imagine.
Even still, dude, like, so right now, I have, with my equipment, with my personal equipment, I have enough for 3 setups for kids to be able to practice on. But ideally, I would like each kid to have their own setup. So right now, I'm going to plug myself. I have a GoFundMe started because I'm looking to try to get equipment for all the kids to have their own setup to practice on when they come to the class. So I'm looking to raise about like 10 bands.
Okay.
To provide each kid with a laptop, a controller, and headphones while they're in this 8-week course.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's definitely a doable number.
Yeah.
Have you thought about reaching out to like, I mean, I guess Pioneer would be the people to reach out to.
Yeah.
Seeing if they would support it.
I know, I should. I want to get something. I reached out to Guitar Center, but they didn't say nothing.
Remind me to ask me about this off camera, because I may or may not have worked there for like 10 years.
Oh.
I can probably plug you with some people, allegedly.
Okay. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, remind me off camera and we'll talk about that after. But getting back into it, and now we're going to swing back to another technical question. Because I guess relatively you've been DJing for a shorter amount of time, but you have now made a career out of it. You now do it as your full-time experience.
Yeah.
In between when you started and now, how would your process change? And I mean, don't hold back. I guess you already started on controllers. This line where I was going to say, tell us when you went from CDs to USBs. I'm still plugging it there. But like, from when you started to now, what did you use versus what do you do now? And like, how do you just go about it?
Yeah. So when I first started, dude, I had a $200 DDJ SB3 that I bought from Guitar Center, which is the most basic starter controller you can get.
Oh, I'm aware.
And I ran that thing into the ground. I'm telling you, I took it on all those big shows with me, and then I quickly realized that those little RCA outputs on the back of that thing is not what you need when you're in a big stadium that has actual real sound equipment.
Yeah.
So quickly I learned that that was where school helped me, because it helped me to understand signal flow. It helped me to understand that this RCA sound is not going to be as clean as this XLR sound.
Yep.
And at that moment, I was like, okay, it's time for me to upgrade. I have been DJing for about 1.5 years. I did my first summer DJing, and I made a little money. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to get me another controller. And so I went on Facebook Marketplace, found a upgrade to my controller, basically a DDJ SX2, which is my controller, but like twice as big, and it got 4 channels.
Yes, and multiple channels, XLR outs.
And XLR outputs.
Yep.
So I was like, okay. And then after I had got that controller, I was like, I need another laptop, because up until that point, I had a MacBook Air, and I was doing all this stuff on my little Air.
Yeah, and that just won't cut it.
And it won't, because I'm producing. I got Logic on here. I got Serato. I'm running all this stuff.
Which, respectfully, Serato is a very low-demand program.
Yeah.
You really got to give credit where it was done. The people who designed that did a really good job of making it not super processor demanding.
Yeah.
But,
which I appreciate.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
nonetheless,
Air.
So I was like, all right, I got to get me a MacBook Pro. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to actually do this. So at that moment, after I had bought that controller, I went and started DJ Aspen Productions, LLC.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, we gonna go with it. This was in 2022. So I had been DJing for a year, and I was like, all right, let me get the LLC. I just got this controller. So I worked a couple months, grinded, and then right before summer hit, because I knew, because the summer is when it's like, boom, we about to get it.
Yeah.
So right before summer hit, I went to Best Buy, and I opened up my first credit card.
Okay.
And I put down... I basically paid cash. I was gonna pay cash straight up because I had been making money. So I was like, I just spend $2,000 on the air. I mean, on a MacBook Pro.
Yep. And
then I was like, maybe I'll finance it and try to get my credit right. So because at this point, I'm like, I'm about to turn this into a business. Like I don't really know how. I've never ran a business. I don't know what I'm doing, but this is about to be the thing that's gonna make me all my money.
Yeah. So. Also, you're gonna get that Best Buy money here. Like,
exactly.
They give you those bucks back.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, let me finance this little laptop. And so I financed my laptop. And then I had that new controller. And then I just grinded for the next year, bro. Like taking so many gigs, like busting my ass. And then last year rolls around and I had been on this same controller for almost going on 2 years now.
And you had bought it used, so it definitely had seen some time.
Right. And so I was like, you know what? It's time. And I had seen, okay, the first person I seen to have this controller was DJ OG1, the DJ for the Trailblazers. He had this Rev 7 and it was so beautiful. And I was like, why does it almost look like a turntable, but not? Like, I like that. And then he let me play on it. And I was like, oh, this is it. I have to have one. Yep. I have to. So then I went to Guitar Center and shout out my boy because he hooked me up. And I got that Rev 7, the black on gold. And man, it's been up since, bro.
Hell yeah.
Like, and so now I pretty much have a whole I got 4 sets of speakers.
But what speakers do you use?
Oh, the only speakers that there is to use, QSC K12 Pro.
Okay.
Come on.
Hell yeah.
You know, the GOAT.
I knew it was either going to be QSC or EV, and I'm glad to hear that it was QSC. They are, they are bulletproof.
Bro,
respect to QSC. You're going to get a proper shout out for this moment because they are, I mean.
Straight up. Dude, I use them without subs for stuff. I'm like, oh, maybe I should have got a sub. And it's like, these QSCs are enough.
I will say this, for slightly bigger spaces, the KW181. Yeah. Okay. But again, we want to get that too far. Please keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, I got speakers, I got mics, I got lights, I got a light bar that I bring. And then because I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, I don't have room for a sub. But I just, honestly, it just cost me like $60 to rent a sub, and it ain't too many times that I'm needing to bring a sub, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it works out pretty good. I got a full equipment and, full list of, because recently I did a gig for Nike, and they asked me to break down all of my equipment costs, which I've never done before. Nobody's ever asked me that. Like, what's all your equipment costs? Yeah. And so I made this, like, crazy list of all my equipment and stuff, and now I'm like, well, I can just send this out to people, and if you want to rent out my equipment, I'll just rent out my speakers every now and then. True. It's hard because I love those things so much. Yeah, it's tough because people don't always know, and they ain't gonna respect it the way I am. Yeah, mine, and I had to work to pay $2,000 for these speakers. Yeah, Yeah, no, I get that. But also, I really just. Again, I worked in pro audio for most of my time before I moved up in Guitar Center, and your timeline, the way that you approached it, like the steps that you took, are like the steps to take. Like anybody who wants to like really get into DJing and like really kind of learn it the right way, they should just take that moment as you just explained it and kind of follow it to the letter with whatever's actually available at the time. You really you did it like almost textbook to the right way that it should be done to really like grow in the craft. So I mean, I don't have a hat on. Hats off to you on that one because you owned it, and now look at you. You're doing it. You're like literally making a career out of it, making things happen. So that's really cool. Feel good.
But we have one last question to go before we move into the next portion, which is all hypothetical questions.
Okay.
This next one's probably the densest question in the interview. So we've talked a lot about, your experiences, your actions, the reactions, your progress. But when it's just you and music one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
I think for me, and this is honestly what keeps me doing it, because I know I make it look easy to do 5 gigs a week and be out partying, and y'all think it's just fun and games, and it's not. Okay?
It's not.
It's not. I just want y'all to know. It's not. But what keeps me going is the genuine love that I see music bring out of people. The way I see it. I can play a song that I don't think nobody knows, and then I see somebody sing all the words to it. Or, just how I can... Honestly, I've been watching how I cultivate vibes throughout the night, and it's like a journey. Like I'm taking you on a journey, and I feel like when you come to my show, you get immersed in this journey with me, and I don't know where I'm gonna go. I don't know where we're gonna end up, but we just on a ride.
Yeah.
And, some stuff you might like, some stuff you might not like, but at the end of the day, we gonna have a good time. I appreciate music has saved my life, man. Like straight up, like I don't know where I would be without music. It's just, it helps me to cope. It helps me to deal when I don't know what else to do. I'm like, all right, I'll just go play some music. I guess I'll just pretend like I know what I'm doing on this bass guitar and make it sound good. The vibrations, the frequencies that it emits, the way it makes me feel. Just, I appreciate that about music, and that's really why I keep doing it, is because I love it. I mean, I make money from it too, but I actually don't wake up hating my job like I did when I worked for a weed farm full time. Even though I have love for cannabis and the cannabis industry, it was different than me doing music.
No, damn. Well, that's really powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
All right, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on to some hypothetical questions.
Hypothetically, of course.
And for these, sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are as well.
Okay.
But this first one's pretty straightforward. If you could interact musically, however you choose to, with any one person, the only requirement is they have to be alive. Who would you want to work with, and how would you want to work with them?
Ooh, one person, huh? I think I would have to say J. Cole. J. Cole is my favorite all-time artist, and I know how people are like, you never want to meet your heroes, blah, 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 but it's like the stuff that I see him do, the stuff that I see him work on, and specifically how I watched him bring together a bunch of producers and artists and creatives all under one house to work, to make magic. Was like, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of something so wholesome where it's bringing hip-hop, Black artists together in the community, and we are uplifting each other. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always got to be a competition. It ain't always a dogfight. And I appreciate how, even with how, I ain't gonna lie, it took me a minute to be okay with it, but how J. Cole respectfully bowed out of the rap beef, and how he is now sitting real nice and pretty because he didn't get demolished like Drake did, R.I.P. But it would have to be J. Cole, man. Like, I want to be able to share some creative processes with him, like just to us to work on music together, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah, I could dig that.
Yeah. And
then subsequently, who's a local artist that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to connect with yet, but you would like to?
Okay, that's good. It's a couple of them that I'm thinking of right now, but the one I think I want to go with is probably Win.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I like what she's doing. I appreciate how she is doing her thing.
Yeah, she's really she is making a really big name for herself and for the area. Like, she's really putting on the space in general.
Yeah.
And trust me, if I knew how to get in contact with her to get her on the show, I would do my best. But everybody at her in the comments. Let's see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get Win on here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's get her to work with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the end goal here.
It's win-win. If you get her to work with me, then I'll be like, hey, you need to come do this Jimmy Jambox. You feel me?
All right. And if she comes on the show first, I'll make sure that she has you DJ for her.
All right, cool.
Oh, yeah. And then for this next one, like I said before, sky's the limits, and it's pretty literal in this sense. But, actually, I modified it for this interview. I'm sorry. But it still applies. What would your dream lineup be if you could have 3 acts that you could DJ for? And where would it?
Ooh. It would definitely be at some sort of Coachella-y situation. And Coachella Burning Man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's like, as a DJ, when I've done a Coachella set or a Boiler Room, I feel like that's top tier.
Yeah.
But on the lineup, let's see. We gotta go, obviously. All right, let me take that back. First of all, we gotta go with my girl. Obviously, I think Glorilla is probably my top female over Sexy Red right now. That was a hard decision. It really was. But so Glow, Kendrick, he will go down in history as the greatest rapper.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yep.
And Kehlani.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, I need this show to happen.
Yeah.
Now. Holy shit. That is a stellar lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, I love that. I love that.
Little different.
Yeah.
Versatile.
No, I think that would be a really cool experience overall.
Yeah.
So solid choices.
Thank you.
And then the second half of the question though, where would you do it?
Oh
wait, no, you said Coachella. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, you answered it backwards.
Definitely. But you know what? I don't think I would want to do it somewhere hot where I'm gonna die of heat exhaustion.
All right, Antarctica. No.
Fiji.
Okay.
You know.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking like water, beach, you know, coast vibes. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I dig that for sure. And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could get one more album from anybody, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have not put out an album in 100 years, they could have put out an album yesterday. Who would you want an album from?
Easy. Literally easy. As soon as you said it, I already knew who I was going to say. Outkast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Come on. We need it. Please.
Yeah.
Andre. Big boy.
Let's do it.
I know you're watching.
Make it happen. They are big fans of the show.
I know.
They just don't comment because they don't want to blow it all up.
Right. Yeah.
No, I would love another album from them for sure as well.
The whole Atlanta AT-Alien Nation would love that. We would.
So.
Just, go on tour, do something, bro. Like, perform your old stuff. Put it back out. Re-release it.
You don't even have to re-release. Just perform it.
Just perform.
Yeah.
Perform.
No, I would dig that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. What can we look forward to between now and January?
Oh, man. I got so much stuff in the works, man. Definitely follow me on Instagram to stay posted. I post where I'm going to be playing at every month. I release a calendar and a schedule. But big news I got coming up, I guess, is I got something in the works for the radio. So you might hear me on Portland's premier hip-hop radio station soon. We got that in the works. And then I just locked in to, do all the games for the Timbers next season. So if you come to any Timbers games, just know I will be bringing the vibes, and let's petition to get me down in the Timbers army with everybody else.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and I got some Pride events coming up. I got definitely want to start throwing my own showcases where I can bring artists and, that I like and support and want to get out there because artists have helped me get to where I am. And so, just give back, show love to my community and the people that have helped me to be here and make it to where I am.
Hell yeah. Definitely looking forward to all of that.
Yeah.
For this next one, go and look straight at the camera and tell everybody how they can find you.
So you can find me on Instagram at a.spinthebeat or DJ Aspen. You'll find me. You'll see me. You already know. You'll see this cute face. And also my GoFundMe for DJ Aspen production DJ classes is live right now. The link is in my bio on Instagram. And please help me make these kids' lives much better by learning how to DJ. Don't you wish you knew how to DJ as a kid?
Hell yeah. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Man, shout out to everybody that pull up, that show love and support me, you know, like for real. I couldn't have done this. I moved out here to Portland and I didn't know one single person. And so to see what I have been able to do in a community that has helped me to get here and to help me build what my business is today, like I just am grateful for the people showing me love, people recommending me, people posting me, and you know, getting me out there.
Hell yeah.
That's it. Shout out to y'all.
Hell yeah. All right, with that being said, we've got one last question to go, but before we do, I'm gonna steal the camera for just a second.
Okay.
As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation. But what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? It's a deep cut. It's one not a lot of people would know, but it's one you think everybody should know.
I don't know if it's an album. It's more of a mixtape, I think, but
that's all right.
It's definitely Kendrick Lamar's Section 80. If you wasn't hip to him back then,
yeah,
please do me a favor and just go peep how deep he goes, man. Like that album specifically, I remember having that on repeat when it dropped, bro, and just being like, man, this dude. This was like this was still when he was kind of like coming off.
That's deep Kendrick, yeah.
You feel me? Like he was coming off of being K-Dot still. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah.
I didn't even actively know, but I think somebody else has said that as their answer.
What?
So it's just like, damn,
crazy.
Like it's crazy to have heard it twice now, but like, yeah, that is some deep Kendrick.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah. All right, but with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us today, and this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
I'm DJ Aspen,
and we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap. This is not a podcast. This is a show. Keep jamming.